SmokingHotCigarChick.com. I'm here at Santa Barbara Cigars for the Lissette Perez-Carrillo event with the gorgeous Lissette, and it's such a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of this event. It means the world to us.
Houston has been a very fun place so far. I just landed this morning, and the weather's cooperating, so I'm having a great time, and there's some great people here. I'm having a really nice time at this event.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much. And do you mind telling us, like for me, just knowing your background, I think it's amazing that growing up as a little girl with your father especially, can you talk to us a little bit of what it was like, you know,
Absolutely.
growing up in the factory?
I was born into a cigar family. My grandfather was involved with this. His father was involved with it in Cuba. So when my grandfather got to the United States, the first thing that he wanted to do as soon as he had some change in his pocket was to open up a cigar factory. So that's what he did. And my father slowly but surely came around after his drummer experiences and once he had to support a family, and started working more and more then. And I always would go to the cigar factory with my mom, ever since I was little, and we would put the cigar bands and the cellophane. So cool. And then slowly, as I remember when the first, Apple computer came out, at that point I was, maybe 10, 12, something like that. And then I would sit there and put in all the customer lists. So with age, I got to do more and more things. And then when the time came when I had to decide to actually go away to school or to stay in Miami, I decided to stay because I was that much, kind of penetrated into just the whole cigar experience. I mean, I grew up in a factory with many cigar rollers, and I would sit there and listen to their stories, and it was a very warm experience and a very enjoyable one as well. So
part of your family, I would imagine, at that point.
Yeah, and then when it was time to decide to go to law school, our cigars had gained a lot of popularity, but my dad, being very typical Cuban male, didn't want to leave his daughter. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, Dad, I kind of really need to get to New York at this point. I don't want to turn this one down. I mean, I didn't go away before, but I think it's time. And I think secretly he was dying inside, but I think business-wise he was like, yes, okay, now I can go. And then, he built a factory in Dominican, and, all these great things followed. We were able to get a lot more cigars out in the market, which was all very frustrating experience for him, I think. We were just a small shop in Miami. And as you know, he sold the company, then worked for them for about 10 years. And then one time, all three of us sat together after his employment agreement was up with him and said, why not do this again? So I think it was something that he was always hoping for, but never really wanted to push us in that direction. He wanted us to go do our own thing and then come back and see if our heart was really in it. Yeah, and it was a rough first year. We're in probably entering our third year. And it's a lot of little things, bumps here and there, but he's finally stepped back and let me and my brother handle the marketing and the finances, and that was always the initial plan, but he was always kind of putting his hands in everything, and now it's finally, he's sticking to what he knows best, which is the blending, and whenever he gets a chance, obviously, he'll get out there and meet some of our great customers.
I love how every decision too, the family's been very involved with, whether it's personal or business, it's still the same, I think, to all of you.
Absolutely, yeah.
What was it like putting the inaugural, the 2009 limited edition together?
Well, that was a very interesting experience because he was obviously under obligations with his previous company. So once we all sat down, when his time with them was up, we had to come up with something really special. We wanted, obviously we contemplated, okay, more expensive cigar, limited production, or come up with something like our core brand, which is going to be available ongoing. And what happened was that's the tobacco that was available. So we decided, let's do this, and we sat down and he said, listen, I have this great wrapper and I don't want to give up this opportunity. So we went for it and did really well for us and got our name out there, and everybody was really excited that he was on his own again.
So it's what you've been doing.
He's on his own with us, obviously, backing him up there, but
yeah, from the inaugural to the core line, which is absolutely essential too, but I love the short run. You guys are definitely having fun.
Yes.
I mean, it's every single part of the purist tradition you can see through in all your products.
And everything is taking time. For example, when we first came out with the core, a lot of people were saying, well, why not the Maduro? Because he had to find the tobacco that made him happy. He's a perfectionist when it comes to that. So he travels to Nicaragua, Ecuador, Mexico, all of these places to try to find something that's going to work. He doesn't like to rush the process. So while we had a lot of people asking for it, it took us a little while to get it out there, and now everybody's very excited about it. Another cigar that's doing really well for us is the New Wave Connecticut.
Yes.
Not only is that a great price point, but the flavor in it is not like your typical Connecticut. And I think it tends to be a little more complex, somewhere between mild and medium. And it's opened a lot of people to wonder, hey, what are the other cigars like? You know, because it's affordable, and at the same time, people are less intimidated sometimes, like beginning smokers. You know, to try something that's a little bit on the milder side, and you know, it's helped our sales with the other blends as well. Because then they'll explore and say, wow, these guys make a great cigar. Let me try this cigar. Let me try this blend. And it's done really well for us.
Whatever the price is, whether it's like an entry or like a higher end, every single thing you say, the blend is what's important.
Yes,
every
absolutely.
little detail
Absolutely.
has to be just right.
Absolutely.
That's most important to me. So thank you for doing that.
No, you're welcome.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
And we'll be speaking with you soon.